drive-through art gallery where everything is being carved with a chainsaw. Mark Gibson checked it out.
For 33 years, Daryl Radcliffe has been a hospital orderly. For his other job, Daryl needs patience of a different kind.
It's quirky and interesting, and a lot of people have shown a lot of interest.
What Daryl can create with a chainsaw and a piece of wood is quite extraordinary. He's turned a 1 kilometre stretch of his property into an outdoor art gallery, dotted with dozens and dozens of his chainsaw creations. You can see them without getting out of your car. Tourists and locals are flocking to see this unique form of art, which Daryl turned his hand and his chainsaw to 8 years ago.
Seen it overseas on holiday at the time, and I thought, well, that looks like a pretty good hobby. And my wife told me I needed a hobby.
Daryl started out sculpting metal. He created this big three-wheeler bike by heating and bending all this metal pipe, but it took an awfully long time, and he soon realised working with wood could be quicker and a lot more fun. There are lots and lots of animals, dogs and cats, birds, apes, turtles, 3 little pigs, owls in trees, elephants, rhinos, giraffes sticking their neck out, meerkats burying their head in the sand. Apart from his own sculpture park, Daryl does private jobs like this cello made from she oak, and his latest masterpiece, a 3-metre high, 2.5 tonne Ned Kelly, made for descendants of the infamous bushranger.
Carving out of old logs is a much better thing than chopping it up for firewood.
Wow, very clever indeed. Let's go to the weather now. And Amelia, hard to believe it's autumn with these conditions we're having.
You're certainly right, Rosanna. Tonight and tomorrow we've got temperatures that are around 10 degrees above average, so certainly very unusual for this time of year. Now we're seeing this warmth ahead of a change, and that's triggered a severe weather warning. We're expecting gusts to 100 k's an hour across some parts tomorrow. Now, of course, with the dry, dusty conditions, total fire bans have been declared in some districts, and don't expect it to be much calmer about the coast either. Closer in, and winds could whip up dust across areas north of the city. There could be the odd shower about Kangaroo Island and the southeast, where the odd rumble is possible as well. And on metro waters, nor'easterly winds tending nor'westerly, reaching up to 20 knots ahead of a southwesterly change to 25, seas up to 2 metres. In the city, it'll be hot tonight. We're not likely to drop below 24 degrees, then up to 33 tomorrow. And we are expecting a change. It's due in the afternoon, and that will cool things down. So by the weekend, we're looking at tops of 22. Now to our pet of the week. This week, we've got a sweet boy who's looking for a family that'll love him enough to coach him out of his shell.
5-month-old Ash has spent almost his entire life at the Lonsdale shelter.
He was surrendered by his owner, who admitted that she just had too many animals to care for, and she's done the right thing.
He can be shy at first, but Carolyn Jones from the RSPCA says that's not uncommon for cats who've had a bit of change in their lifetime.
If you've got a comfortable home and you've got a bit of time and patience, Ash is a really lovely cat. He just takes a little while to get to know people.
And if that sounds like you, make sure you pay Ash a visit.
Well, let's go live now to Adelaide Oval for what's sure to be an awesome clash. Enjoy that and good night.
sevennews.com.au, happening now.
Tonight, the Thursday night lights shine in the City of Churches. Home to the most successful female football side in the country. It's time to go back with a big fly, 4 days ago, the Crows collected their second title in dominant fashion.
The Adelaide Crows, AFLW premiers.
After a horror 2018, their male counterparts are desperate to add to the club's trophy cabinet. They have all the ingredients to bring home their first piece of silverware for 21 years. Tonight, they face the informed team of the competition, the rejuvenated Geelong. The new-look Cats are sure to be a contender come finals time.
Brian Myers steps on through. Love it!
The first 18 games have been full of surprises.
Going all the way!
What does tonight have in store? Oh, yeah. This bloke has a bit of history with these guys as well. So strap yourselves in for Thursday night football.
He's back yet again. The last time he was here, 33 disposals, 20 contested, 3 goals, 2 Brownlow votes, but they got beaten. Yes, Paddy arrives back at the Adelaide Oval. Always great to see danger here. And Eddie Betts, well, he averaged 61 goals a season in his first 4 here in Adelaide. Only 29 last year. He's 3 so far this year. Still a formidable force. As we welcome you to the Adelaide Oval. What a week it's been in South Australia here at the Oval. Last Sunday, of course, with 53,000 people. And tonight, on a beautiful night, we're expecting a crowd of around about 50 for a massive match Thursday night to start off round number 3. Hey, 2 of the power forwards in the game, one from the past and one very much from the present, have just caught up with one another.
Well, Tex, it's not long before game time. What sort of preparer are you? Are you a worrier? Do you get nervous, or are you pretty laid back?
No, I'm pretty relaxed. I do like to do my things night before and day of, but when I get here, I'm pretty relaxed, pretty chilled.
And I just saw the Crouch boys and Seedsman hanging around together. Tell us a little bit about that little group. They seem to be inseparable.
They are very inseparable, whether it be at footy training, on the golf course, at the pub, wherever it is. All 3 of them are there. So
really?
they're good boys, and hopefully all 3 of them play well tonight. It'll help us win.
And what about you, mate? You look like you're running on top of the ground. Watched you play last week. You look fit and healthy. A lot different to last year. Yeah,
it's amazing if you get a pre-season under your belt, then it helps you play a little bit more consistently. So 85% this year and 20% last year, it's a huge difference. So it's just been able to train through the week and then be able to play on the weekend, which is what I want to do. And what about the co-captaincy? Has that taken a little bit of pressure off, the fact that Sloaney, or is he's always been a leader anyway? No, you know what it's like, leadership groups now. It's probably just a title for both of us. We've been sharing the load for a period of time now, and he's developed into a very good leader of our footy club, and to be able to share it with him, it's proud. I'm proud, he's proud, and it's an honour to be able to lead this footy club together. Now, you saw you would have seen the Cats play last week. Melbourne had a lot of inside 50s, but they were able to get that loose man back. How do you go about it? Obviously, as the captain of that forward line also, how do you go about stopping that and making sure they're not allowed to do that? We need to keep their defenders engaged. They like seeing the game in front. They're very good intercept marks. They work well together. So if we can lower our eyes going inside 50, we'll try and make their defenders defend and not allow them to have a loose behind the ball. And as a midfield and half forwards, we need to reset really hard to engage their defenders. Do you dictate where your starting position and where Jenkins and Betts lines up? Is that a rotating setup, or you dictate that? Oh, we've got our setups that we like to go to, depending on who's playing well. If someone's on fire, we'll try and get them in a position where the ball's coming to them quite often, and we'll just work around each other who's playing well throughout the night. So we'll go to our setups, and hopefully it'll work tonight. No worries. Well, good luck tonight, mate. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.
So welcome Jimmy Bartel. Fabulous insight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so interesting how that Adelaide forward line functions. They've got 4 players who can really hit the scoreboard well, but they never seem to run into each other's space. And Tex is spot on. They've got to make the Cats' defence accountable, because what they are super at is rolling off and helping each other out.
A lot talked about the short break 5 days. Gary Ablett's actually here. We're going to do the Telstra tracker with him. What would have he done, do you reckon, during the week?
Oh, look, I think being a more senior player, he would have done a lot of rest and recovery. As we see on the tracker, and Gaz are here, the heat map is more the traditional half-forward role. Lots been made about Gaz pushing forward in the latter part of his career. He's still going to push up to a lot of throw-ups and ball-ups around the ground and get hard forward. And that's how he's hit the scoreboard early in the year. Not so much the traditional forward goals with front and square or getting on the lead. He's doing it by coming up to the stoppage and following the play back inside 50.
Yeah, well, it's great to see him here. I mean, he's looked to be in pretty good nick, doesn't he? They've been hard to score against so far this season, haven't they, Geelong?
Yeah, 72 inside 50s last week the Demons had against the Cats. But what they do super well is roll off and help out. As soon as their direct opponent is no longer being used, they come onto the line and make almost a 2v1.
So the Crows are about to come out.
Take him out.
balmy hot night, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful night here at the Adelaide Oval. Look, the Crows start to find their way with their bullies going forward last week. Can they continue on this week?
Hayne, welcome, and I think you got the LA coach with you in a moment.
Absolutely, Bruce. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Don. Big week for the club. Good win on the road on Friday night, and then fabulous on Sunday, but starts again tonight without Sam Jacobs.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, Sam with that knee, and we'll see how long he'll be, but gives Riley O'Brien a great opportunity. I mean, he's been waiting in the wings for a while. He's learned and worked in his craft. He's in good condition. He's excited, ready to go.
Tell us a little bit about Riley O'Brien. They tell me he's an elite runner.
Yeah, look, he's probably one of our top 3 or 4 for our 2K time trial. He's obviously can run, but as I said, he's matured. He's been in the club for 4 years, and he's just worked on his body, and he's got himself, as big men do, take a little bit of time, but he's got himself ready to go.
I spoke to Tex earlier. What are you going to do about the Cats and the fact they like to roll one off, have that extra in defence? What do you do about that tonight?
Yeah, well, we've spoken about that. Obviously, we had a few troubles with that against Hawthorn round 1, and we've spoken about it now. It's our ability to execute it. So we've got some plans in place, and we're aware how they like to defend the game. It's just important we probably shift the angles a little bit, move the ball around.
Just on Riley, he comes in, he hasn't played a lot with this midfield group. How long does it take to get that synergy?
Well, he's been working on that for the last couple of years, and I spoke to him probably this time last year and said it's important you build a relationship with Sloaney, Matty Crouch, Brad Crouch, these guys, because they're the guys you're going to be playing with when you come in. And he spent a fair bit of time doing that. And yeah, reality was it was pretty close between him and Sam to come into round 1. So he's had a great pre-season, so I'm excited for him and see what he can produce.
You enjoy Sunday?
Loved it. Brilliant. Great for the footy club.
Good luck tonight.
Great for footy overall.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Good stuff, Don, there. Don Pike with the boys. So we talked a moment ago about that defence for the Cats and how well it's worked so far in the 2 matches this year.
Yeah, look, I think tonight they'll set up very similar like they did against Melbourne here. They get a lot of numbers back and help out. So we see a lot of this footage here. As soon as your man's not getting the ball there, we see Kolodjasny peel off Petrarca. They come over and help out. It's a team defence, not an individual defence. We see the players here highlighted. As soon as they see the ball getting swept across the other side of the field, they're leaving their man and they're coming to help out down the line. Look at the work rate, and that gets them in good position to intercept the footy, but also attack off the back of that. We saw Jordan Clark get his first goal because of that style of footy.
And with the 6-6-6, we've seen almost even more emphasis on defence so far this season, haven't we?
Yeah, it's suiting sides who have trained up their players really well to play one-on-one style football and mark off the back of that.
Well, they haven't won here for a while, beaten the last 3, but they've got a strong record against all clubs under Chris Scott. As out come the Cats, not quite the cheer that the Crows got a moment ago. Fascinating team, Geelong. I think a lot of us had them maybe slipping at the start of the year. Now suddenly there's a big readjustment, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly right. A lot of those games in the first part of the year against top sides, they get to play down there at GMHBA Stadium, but they would have got a great confidence boost out of that round 1 win against Collingwood.
Chris Scott's about to join us, Jimmy. We might grab him and walk over with him. Scotty, great to have you with us. We'll go for a walk, Scotty, if that's all right. I just said to Jimmy, a lot of us had you slipping at the start of the year, and yet you've had a hard draw, and you've had the most magnificent start, really.
Yeah, but it's still early days, Bruce. We still know we've got a lot to work on, but there's enough to be excited about. So, big challenge here at the Adelaide Oval. But having the pre-season we have, we're always pretty confident we'd be competitive.
Early in the season, it's almost a summer's night here tonight, nice and warm. 5-day break interstate. Much of a conversation had at match committee about it?
Not really. We prepared really well in advance. The draw was out in October, and we knew what we were going to do through this period. The only sort of what-ifs are around if a few guys got a bit sore, and we pulled up really well from the game last week, so we go in with no excuses.
Does it help the fact that the big 3, Ablett, Dangerfield and Selwood, have really not only embraced their sort of new roles being outside the centre square, but have thrived?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, we've done that for a few reasons. One, because we think they can still be really important in those roles, but 2, we've got some guys that deserve their time in there, Parfitt and Kelly and Duncan and Constable.
And the other thing, we're always excited about new kids, and you've got a few of them, Chris, and they've had a flying start, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're all finding their way to an extent at AFL level, but probably with the exception of Rowan and Dalhouse, who have been good players for a while. But yeah, 4 debutants round 1's exciting for the whole club. We've shown a willingness to play the young players, and that's off the back of them performing under pressure.
Scotty, thanks for your time. It should be a cracking match. All the best, mate. Terrific, Chris Scott. We'll be back with the opening bounce right after this.
Telstra mobile customers can stream AFL live, fast and data-free on Australia's best mobile network. To start streaming, download the AFL Live official app now and follow the prompts.
Hello, I'm Andrew Denton, and I'm thrilled to bring you my program called Interview. It's the simplest idea in the world. Just me, a guest, and a conversation in a hot air balloon 1,000 feet off the ground.
Andrew, we've been over this. That's just not practical.
Oh, it all in.
1 hour, 2 chairs, and a conversation with an amazing human. New Interview, coming to 7.
So join me for an apparently balloon-free hour of entertainment.
Planning your Easter long weekend? The best last-minute discount deals for you and your family on Sunrise tomorrow.
So you're building a home. Now you need to choose a builder. You know, over 30,000 South Aussies have chosen Fairmont. It's easy. Choose a design that's perfect for your lifestyle and budget, or modify one at no extra cost. Fairmont's quality speaks for itself. And as for value for money, well, all you have to do is compare Fairmont with their competitors. Get more than you ever imagined. So go on, dream big. It's affordable at Fairmont.
Why risk everything just to save a few minutes? Please slow down, keep your distance, or switch off your phone. We could all be safe on the road.
Castello Double Cream Brie. Velvety soft and intensely rich. Experience sensations by Castello.
Set yourself free from having to hide from your kids. Free from standing in the cold. Feeling you're being judged. Knowing you smell. The expense. And the bad breath. Set yourself free. Free from coughing. Feeling like an outcast, embarrassed to give a hug, having to find somewhere to smoke, and running out of breath. Set yourself free from the smokes, and you'll be free from all the crap that goes with it. Visit besmokefree.com.au to find out how.
Oh yeah, we're back.
God, I bet my car looks elegant going through this scenery.
Oh, you look cold! Oh, mind my roof! Ow! Whoa!
Hammond's Lap's going well.
The 2019 Toyota AFL Premiership season is brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. Need advice? We are here to help. Anytime, all the time, we'll take you there. Go to 7news.com.au. Happening now.
Yeah, an absolute honour to especially represent the footy club this way, and to do it with one of your best mates, I think it's pretty special.
What about that? How good is he?
Your affection for the club and love of the club was demonstrated so aptly last year when you decided long-term you're going to stay there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I think the first years of your football career are some of the most important. And I came into an era with Neil Craig, Simon Goodwin, Andrew McLeod, Tyson Edwards, Scott Thompson, some of the biggest names in football, and especially in South Australia. So I certainly learned off some amazing people. I'm very grateful for that. Certainly a sense of some unfinished business. We had a really great year, 2017, and last year we were obviously disappointed with, so we just want to generate that really good feeling back in the footy club.
You touched on it then. You've shown a lot of strength at the club, both individually, personally, and also collectively, because of some things have happened there that no one expects.
We've certainly formed a great bond with each other, the guys who are at this footy club, and a lot of the team has been playing with each other for a long period of time now, and I think you'll start to see some benefits of that over the next coming years if we can keep everyone on park.
Rory Sloane fit and ready to go over his injury problems from last year, and we know he's a contested ball-winning bull in the middle of the ground, and he's going to go up against his great mate Paddy Danger certainly at some point tonight. And when you look at them, they've both had great starts to the year. Paddy Dangerfield, 6 times he's come back against his old club, and he loves playing against them. Average more than 30 touches, 8 tackles a game, and more than a goal a game in all those clashes against the Crows. And they love going hard at each other. Let's wind the clock back to 2017 prelim final. Rory and Paddy, it's a big whack too. Rory on that case gets up a little bit quicker and also had the last laugh with the Crows winning that match pretty comfortably by 10 goals. But look, they are still good buddies. They run a pub together still with Taylor Walker. And Dangerfield, well, you can see here, this is Hugh Greenwood during the week, was quoted as saying that Don Pyke, well, he's a little hard on the boys because he thought that they just took things a little too friendly with Paddy Dangerfield in the first few games that they did play against him. But look at Paddy Dangerfield, he's a big, powerful unit. And of course, he was also in the wedding parties of Tom Lynch and Josh Jenkins over summer. So those bonds are still there with Adelaide. The crowd perhaps not always favourable towards him now, but he is playing some magnificent footy to start the year and actually sitting second in the Coaches Awards, just sitting behind teammate Tim Kelly. So a ripping start for both of them, and we expect them at some stage to have a big head-to-head clash.
So Paddy returns, as Soda's alluded to. They've come back here, the Cats, with Paddy 4 times, 3 losses, the 1 win. Josh Jenkins coming off a big year last year. 3-3, I think, Paddy, against the Crows since he left Adelaide.
Adelaide have won the last 3 here. They haven't won 4 straight against Geelong in a long time. I think it'll go back to about 2004 for that. Cats have been a pretty good team, Jimmy, for over the stretch, haven't they? They've been hard for anyone to beat, as you'd well know.
Yeah, they match up both sides really well against each other. I think that's probably why the winning streaks haven't been so big. But mature side, the Crows, and I think they've been, I guess, across the board a little bit more mature as we go to the toss of the coin.
Joel, it's your call tonight. A header or a tail? Heads is the call. That's the tail.
So Adelaide to the right of screen. It's a great chat with Tex pre-match, Duck.
Yeah, he looks extremely fit. He looks ready to go. We saw him live last week, as I said during that interview, and he looks up and about. But so does his opponent tonight. I think he'll probably get Harry Taylor. Now, Harry had an interrupted pre-season as well last year, so that affected his whole year. He's had a good pre-season, so that should be a crucial battle tonight.
Duck, you mentioned his form last week. I didn't have his biggest goal-kicking or stats tonight, but he certainly looked to be on the move, on the lead a lot more instead of standing and wrestling.
Well, he looks like sometimes he can look heavy, and he's running through the ground. He looked like he was on top of the ground. He put good pressure on him. He looked sharp. His skills were excellent.
A couple of the matchups we're looking to see. Who goes to Tom Lynch? Because you've talked about the importance of Tom Lynch. Who goes to Eddie Betts? Because Buse used to get him and he's not there tonight.
Yeah, it's normally either Buse or Zach Tui has got him a few times. So it might be Jake Kolodjasny. So in the early rounds, he's probably got smaller opponents, but he's so agile and got speed that he might be able to go with Eddie Betts.
Stewart's the other one that
and Stewart
as well.
And Stewart will be the break glass option. Gazza, playing a lot more across half forward, but Duck, I think Gaz is playing half forward, not like the traditional half forward inside 50. He comes up to the stoppage and he uses his smarts coming back inside 50. We saw a couple of goals last week, breaking through 50 and having his shot on goal after a ball up or a throw-in. But probably we might see Mark Blitzarves go to Tom Lynch. The Cats rate Tom Lynch as part of their forward structure.
So the start of round 3, a big night in Adelaide on a Thursday night, with the Crows against the #1 team in the competition after 2 weeks, the Cats. So Stanley and O'Brien. O'Brien has been a long wait. Brad Crouch's little kick out of the centre. He's had a long wait too over the stretch. There is Blitzarves and Lynch. Good call there by Jimmy Bartell. Adelaide can't quite get it out. Kelly down low, Sloane, good hands by him. Crouch tried to get it out, couldn't quite. Ablett, first little touch, Miller with him. Smith backtracked, as he often does. The look kick's good in the end to Murphy. That one doesn't get to where he wants to. Here is Taylor. He probably has got the job on the other Taylor. Back to Atkins, Taylor Walker that is. And then Eddie Betts, clever. Now Tex almost within range. He decides to pop it to Josh Jenkins. And there's the Cats rolling back, as they often do.
And that's their great ability. Third man up. You can see there Joel Selwood, who's been starting on the wing, getting back and helping out his defence.
Yeah, the wing's a really important role for the Cats, especially rolling back. As soon as his man couldn't get the ball, he rolls back and jumps in front of the forwards.
He's a man for all seasons, Joel Selwood, isn't he? Last weekend, kicking an incredible goal on the left in the wet. They're saving the potential Crows goal. Gary Rowan, Dalhouse, Selwood there on cue. A couple of new faces for the Cats. Rowan and Dalhouse have been impressive. So too the 4 debutants who have played in each of the 2 opening rounds. Gary Ablett, Millerer seems to be going with him. Laird, who's had a phenomenal couple of years, gets involved. Seedsman, almost. Millerer tries to dance his way through traffic. Here's Kelly. Little handball, wanted Parfitt, missed him, and the Crows through Sloan. Beautiful on the left. Find their man. So Betts now sees a couple of options to about 55. Murphy works onto his left, goes wide with the handball. Here's a chance for Atkins on the left. It's going to be okay. Crows get the first of the night.
I drive a lot.
I build stuff, pull things, push things, and I hit things. And then I carry stuff.
What do you do again?
I drive a Hilux.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Ready?
Mine!
A little goes a long way at Macca's. For a limited time, pick up a hamburger for just $1.
Wayne, this is exactly what Tex was talking about in the pre-game, making the defenders defend. And what that means is that short little pass, you keep moving the ball laterally, so you force the defenders to come up and defend them on the lead so they don't get the roll and peel off and help out their teammates.
Haven't kicked the first goal in the match so far. Just 2 matches played, admittedly. Dangerfield got it from Kelly, gets the ball deep. Oh, that is a good mark by Atkins. Wow, that was a terrific contested mark.
Joel, take him out. Take him right out.
Thought it was all Keith, but just got in front, and that is a good mark. Eyes on the footy the whole time.
God, it's quiet. It was absolutely deathly silence, wasn't there? So no career goals, 3rd match. Hasn't been getting a lot of the ball, but he's been doing just what Chris Scott wants, and what a start for the youngster.
One day only, Harvey Norman Black Tag Friday with 60 months interest free. Massive computer run out. This Acer Spin 5 2-in-1 now $997, save over $200. Sony 65-inch 4K UHD TV only $1,286. Simpson 4kg dryer $248. Up to 50% of selected lounge, dining and outdoor furniture. Up to 60% of selected mattresses, ensembles in Manchester. Up to 60% off rugs. Plus 60 months interest free. Look for the black tag and get ready to save. Harvey Norman Black Tag Friday.
People often think this mark is a difficult mark, but when you've got players that are stationary and you're on the move and you can run and jump, it's often an easy mark, and that's a terrific finish. They're getting a lot out of their kids.
When's the last time Atkins kicked a goal for both teams to start the match?
And Atkins at either end, a lefty and a righty, and Atkins' first career goal. So all 4 debutants for the Cats this year have kicked a goal or more. Atkins, he's been a slow burn, Jimmy. He's been a part of the Geelong system for 5 years, twice the best and fairest winner in the VFL, team of the year a couple of times, and got the call up, and he hasn't disappointed anyone.
Yeah, they love to promote within out of their Geelong VFL. They feel like they've had a warm-up or a build-up to the Geelong system or the Geelong way to play footy, so they back him in off the rookie draft.
Ablett to Dangerfield, into the pocket. Stanley and Hawkins have got the height. Keith about the place. Dalhouse trying to scrap it back in. Somehow Duncan ends up with the footy and goes looking for Dalhouse, but the boundary line will have a win. These tackle counts, Jimmy, have been phenomenal too. I think 10 of 20 matches last year in the VFL, double-digit tackles for Atkins.
Yep, had, I think, 25 in one game. So he is the Bobby Boucher, the water boy of the VFL, a tackling machine.
Hawkins, Keith did well, read it best, and then Matt Crouch getting it from his brother, not getting it far though, and Taylor cut it off. 50. Gee, and now within goal-scoring range, so here's the 50. So Taylor Walker gets out of the way, and Harry Taylor, who likes a goal in this ground.
Yeah, well done, Tex, to pull out like he did there, but I'm not sure why he was trying to run down to stand on the mark. Anyway, just say someone else take the mark. It's an ego thing. I think it's an ego. They don't like players to run past them, Jimmy.
It looks strange. It looks really strange.
So Harry Taylor caressing it, and the Cats have bounced back quickly here with a couple of goals.
If you're on your way camping and you need some gear, you can stop by at Bunnings, grab your tent now, sleeping bag, basically right here in one place.
Austrail 3-person dome tent, only $35. Jumbuck smoker with side box, $198. Bifold trestle table, $59. Folding camp chair, just $12.95.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning, that's our policy.
So we'll have another look at why the 50 was paid. There wasn't much in it.
No.
Pretty lucky, but nothing worse for a key forward to have your defender kick a goal on you, Jimmy. That will fire Tex up.
72nd goal for Taylor, primarily a defender all of his career until the last few years, where he's drifted forward at times and done a brilliant job. There's Charlie Constable, who was the Rising Star nominee last week, 31 touches. Brian Myers has it knocked away from him. Blitzarves knew that he had support behind. And Jordan Clark, brilliant at ground level. Clean hands, backs himself with dash, works it through the middle. A couple of rookie players this year combined. Constable to the outer side. Here's the goal kicker in Taylor. Perfect to Gary Ablett. Just a kick and a half from home. So Ablett over the top, rare mistake. Might get a chance to mop up. Miller up, make sure Gary goes nowhere. Crowd continues to build, starting to get boisterous on a perfect night in Adelaide for football. Warm and still. Riley O'Brien, first game since the end of 2016 in Jacob's absence, gets an opportunity. Duncan tumbles it forward, tricky for all the forwards. Here's a chance for Atkins, tries to set up another. Myers over the top. Well done, Jake Kelly. News help. Hardigan almost ran into trouble. Keeps a cool head. Over the top he goes.
Played it well, Hardigan. Back in the team last week to Brad Crouch, to Rory Atkins, to Riley O'Brien. It's been a long wait for him, as we said. With Jacobs so durable and so good over the stretch. Betts and Crouch back to Betts on the wing. So he takes a bounce here. Now, can he get the ball over the back? He's caressed it to Walker. Stewart, though, always in the better position. Colin Jasny reading well. Henderson back in for Henry tonight. Good kick to Stanley.
It's 50.
50 metres.
Again, Tom Stewart, it looks like they've got an extra defender, the Cats, but as soon as the Adelaide Crows forward isn't dangerous, they'll let them go up into the contest.
No one on the mark.
Stanley, who's a good runner, runs a long way. Radaglia just too hot for him. So Stanley was looking down the barrel of Grundy, then Gawn, then Jacobs. Gets a bit of a reprieve, but still a mountain of work to do. And we spoke to Brett Burton pre-game. Phenomenal runner.
Yep.
Riley O'Brien, so he's not going to get an easy night from that perspective, Reece Stanley.
6'10" for 2 Ks.
What was your best, Jimmy?
12 and a half minutes.
Hurriedly into the middle of the ground. Here's another chance for the Cats. Tim Kelly, who's just been blistering in the opening 2 rounds. Perfect delivery. Menegola, who's been so brilliant at arriving at Geelong. Just missed the 3, and Constable can have an early sighter. He'll kick it from just on 50.
Only early days, but the Cats seem to be finding a lot of space.
They're doing really well off the turnover, getting on their bike, running from behind, and what it does is it sets them up really high in defence, so the Crows are under a lot of pressure coming out of their back 50.
One in the opening round, one last week. Not going to add to it here, might just fall short. Not sure whether it has been.
It's a behind. Yep. Yeah, very early, isn't it? But good signs for Geelong. Gibbs wide. Lynch couldn't go back to where he originally wanted to. Kelly, that's an awkward kick and a good pick-up mark, and another 50. So the third 50-metre penalty Adelaide are given away here, and you'd be more than a bit frustrated.
Come on.
So Menegola within pretty easy range, you'd think. Should goal.
Time on.
So Harry Taylor kicked one after getting a
and you
Free
take it in
kick.
the ground, I have to pay 50. It's just there. Right out.
Averages nearly a goal a match. Menengola. And that one he's slotted it through.
You might not see them now, but once you do, you really do. The away fans boldly flying their colours against the odds. Yeah, the home advantage is a nice theory, but it's no match for this dedication, this emotion, and this passion. So join them. Help your club steal a win. Hell, steal the season. Book a weekend away with Virgin Australia and fly your colours. Search AFL Travel.
Well, this is the difference in the game right here. 3 50-metre penalties.